I guess I'll just call it to order really quickly. And if you guys want to check the online rules, they're available on the website. There's a link on the agenda if you need to look that up. Should be a quick meeting. We're just going to start by organizing, talk about future agenda items, and then next time you guys want to meet, and then we'll be done. So,
What's first on the agenda?
committee organization.
I make a motion that we have Colleen Roy as our chair.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, Mark,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Jennifer,
Aye.
Andy.
I have concerns after the Zoom kickoff fiasco, but
I'll Google how to do this. So
I thought you forgot. Oh, I
okay,
didn't.
Matt.
Aye.
All right, Colleen, aye. So declare the motion carried, and then we'll do a vice chair.
I nominate Andy Jefferson.
Second.
Third.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, Mark?
Aye.
wait,
Oh,
you gotta leave room for the discussion, right?
No, we moved too late. Too late.
Yep.
Can I
You're
just
right.
say to encourage Andy that vice chair is the best because you don't actually have to do anything except run the meeting if Colleen can't be there. That's
which
it.
is
We
like
won't meet,
never.
and I'll tell you, we won't meet if Colleen can't be here, Andy, so you're all set.
Yeah, we're only meeting 4 times a year. So you're the backup, but you probably won't be needed.
Okay.
You can say no.
No, Jen, because you're next.
Well, no, because I'm gone soon, so it makes no sense.
Where are you going? All right,
I'm
wait, hold on. Let's just finish the vote. Mark,
I said yes.
Amy,
Yes.
Jennifer,
Aye, yes.
Colleen, aye. Andy,
Aye.
Matt.
Yes.
All right, declare the motion carried. And then we'll do clerk.
I move Amy Myers clerk.
Second.
Yeah,
Motion
can't-
made and seconded.
You
you
just
can't.
did.
I'm not,
Why?
I am not actually a duly elected representative of my committee.
Fair, that's true. She's filling in for Rahul tonight, who resigned from school committee. So she's not actually appointed to TRICOM. She's just a fill-in.
All right, then I make a motion that Matt is clerk.
Second.
Second.
All right, motion made and seconded. All those, any discussion? All those in favor, Mark,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Jennifer,
Aye.
Colleen, aye. Andy,
Aye.
Matt.
Aye.
All right, so that's done. And then what do you guys want to talk about at the next meeting? Like, what's a couple potential agenda items that we should just,
Well, I was, if I may, Colleen, what I was thinking about is, Evan's gonna be presenting his budget in January, February, so we're gonna be getting right into the heat of the budget, looking at it. I would like to have our next meeting after that. I really want to understand the plan for the override over the next couple of years, how long it's gonna last, what we're gonna be doing with it, what the needs are of the school department moving forward, because obviously they're the biggest user of the override. The main purpose of the override was for the school department. I want to make sure we keep the money there for the schools, because I know that Evan is going to be presenting for additional police officers, which I think is a priority. But I want to make sure that those don't cut into the money set aside for the schools as well. So we have to make sure, we have to do that kabuki dance with the budget to make sure that we cover those costs. That's my feeling anyway.
okay? Jen?
Just kind of going with what you said. I know Jay, when we first started doing these TRICOM meetings, he was really into getting the town administrator to somewhat at least agree to a 5-year budget. And just if we can kind of keep that going, then we can at least have an idea. Obviously, nothing's exact, but just keeping with that idea, like thinking ahead as much as possible, going in line with what you're saying with the override, like how is it going to be used? But really, if we can get Evan to commit to thinking how far can this all last?
All right. That sounds
Is-
good. And I-
Are Evan and, I'm sorry, Matt, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are Evan and Jay going to be joining us at our next meeting when we have these meetings? I think it's important to have one or both of them here when we talk about this stuff.
yes, and I kind of just didn't waste their time tonight, knowing that tonight was just an
Understood.
idea. But
Yeah,
yes,
understood.
I will always invite them and let them, unless we know we want to hear from them, then I'll say, we really want to hear from you tonight. So plan to come. Matt, did you want to say something?
Yeah, just a couple things. I agree with what Mark is saying. We need to revisit what our original discussion was about the expectations for the override. obviously a lot's changed with COVID, and Evan has a plan to kind of bolster the police department, which makes sense, but we need to understand what all those things are. So our assumptions and our expectations have changed pretty significantly just in the last couple of years, as they will. But we have a lot of upside as well. We've got a lot of new development that's happening, which brings in new growth money. We've got cannabis, which is coming online. So there's a lot of things there's a lot of, I guess, moving parts that are happening. So I need to understand, I guess, expectations for the override. And that to me ties into a legitimate discussed 5-year plan, which I think is, what the school's interested in getting some kind of commitment. That all has to tie back to the numbers that Jay put on the table in terms of the last override and whatnot. And I imagine, particularly in the schools, a lot's changed for Jay. So what does he have to bring to the table in terms of new expectations for budget requirements in the coming years? And how do we fill some of those gaps with state and federal money? And what's going to, be the rest going to have to be filled by local taxes, obviously. So that whole thing, I think that's the meat of what we need to talk about. The other thing that I would like to bring up is we've got a couple of important stabilization accounts that were passed in the past 2 overrides, which are the capital stabilization account and the road stabilization account. I'd like to have some discussion within this committee about increasing those stabilization accounts on a yearly basis or some periodic basis, so that we just don't have this $800,000 in capital stabilization every single year. It's the finance committee brought it up in their state of the town in last year. We have an underfunded capital program. We don't want to be losing ground with that every year. So what we want to do, I think, is we want to be increasing that if we can 2.5%, which I think is what we're allowed to do. We haven't in the past. We haven't done that with roads, but we know that we've added a lot more road miles. So to me, to make our budget sustainable, that's a really important discussion to have. And I would like to forward something to the select board in terms of a policy for what we do going forward. I think it's an important discussion.
I agree with you, Matt. I think that's a great point. I think we do need to have that discussion as well.
Awesome. So it sounds like a lot of stuff. So we'll have a pretty full agenda the next time we meet. And I definitely agree that we should be meeting after the budget presentation, which I thought might be early February for some reason.
I think we talked about that at our meeting tonight with Mary, and it looks like it will be to the finance committee. I think the date's February 5th or something like that, when he has to give it to us for our public hearing. So I think shortly after that, we can go through the budget, go through all that stuff. The finance committee is going to be holding their budget hearings in May. And then so maybe just before town meeting, we can all get together, because then we'll have a pretty good handle on what the budget is and where he's going. And then we can really talk about those issues that Jennifer, Matt, and I brought up tonight, because I think those are really important things to talk about.
All right. What night of the week tends to work best for majority of the people here? Is Thursday a good night? I know
Thursday-
Tuesday is pretty slammed for a lot of us.
Thursday's good, except for the Affordable Housing Trust for me, which is second Tuesday. Yeah, but other than that, I'm good.
I have meetings on the 2nd and 4th Thursday for a building committee I'm on in Groton. So Thursdays depends on which Thursday.
Okay.
Third
Let's-
Thursday?
Yeah, let's do February 17th. The budget should definitely be out by then, and then that'll give us time to work up till town meeting if we want to, if we want to meet again. But we'll definitely say February 17th, try to have a conversation, and if we need to meet again, we can, and figure it out that day. Does that work for everybody?
Works for me.
All right.
Sounds good.
And then would you prefer in person or Zoom? And who knows by February 17th what the world looks like, but
Can we play that? Can we play that one by ear to see what the COVID levels are and what's happening?
Yep.
I was gonna say the same thing, but if it is safe, I do prefer in person.
Okay.
Just because if there's
I agree. I like having in-person meetings, but
there's
depends
only
on
6 of
COVID.
us plus some staff, if we can spread out, that'd be
Right.
great.
I'm with you.
Especially if we're having to see presentations.
Yeah.
I find I get too distracted at home.
Yep. Okay,
So-
so how about, we'll just say like end of January, beginning of February, I'll shoot an email out to you guys. Maybe it's the next school rep that gets appointed. We'll include on that, obviously, and then get a sense for where everybody's comfort level is, and we'll schedule the 17th regardless.
Yeah, just don't schedule CIPC for the 17th.
I can't make any promises. I might have a lot going on this 17th.
Yeah, but if you do it by Zoom, your Zoom accounts are limited, you know?
Yeah,
'cause
I'll just,
You keep,
two
you keep
screens.
stealing, you keep stealing mine.
CIPC has never met in person.
Really?
since
Not,
you,
not since we restarted it. Matt's
That-
nodding, he knows.
no, yeah, that, I mean,
It's
I
true.
think Zoom has helped CIPC
Oh,
function
sure.
better. I think quorums were an issue with CIPC, and Zoom really solved that for us. But
Yeah.
that's CIPC, this is TRICOM, totally different.
But yeah, we'll definitely have a rep ready to go for February. That won't be a problem.
All right,
So you guys are in the process now, you have to fill a vacancy on the school committee now?
Yeah.
And Jennifer, what were you saying at the beginning? You won't be, where won't you be?
Oh, that just, I'm probably not gonna what do you call it?
Run
Go
for
for the
reelection?
position again. Yeah,
Well, that's not what I heard. We've already started, Colleen has already started getting
Yeah.
signatures for you, so you really have no choice.
Yeah,
Right,
we're,
Andy?
we're preparing your lawn sign location spreadsheet, so
Yeah.
just, you don't really
I
need to
know,
do
I
much.
know. Laura's been trying. It's just with teaching, it's so hard the last 2 years. So, I don't know, just a lot. That's all.
Understood, understood.
We get
Yeah.
it.
All right, I make a motion, we adjourn because I want to go have dinner.
Can I ask a question first?
No.
So, there have been minutes have been spotty for this committee. So do we know what's going to happen? Who is going to be responsible for watching the video and taking the minutes? Because I assume it's not Matt.
Why can't it be Matt?
yeah, I kind of
Okay.
assumed it would be Matt, and then like a heavier meeting, we could,
I mean, that was my expectation tonight.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
I can't say that I'm really happy about it.
right,
But
but when we
You know
hire
what?
that
Just have
position,
one of your kids do it. It's good
It's,
practice for them.
I haven't actually done it, so I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, it's an hour work, right? To
That's
just,
all. Well,
watch
when we, so Evan's gonna hire a full-time 40-hour week position to support the finance committee, the Affordable Housing Trust in his office. So I think that might be able to squeeze some hours into maybe a 10, once a quarter meeting to help do the minutes of these.
I'll do it for now. It's
All right.
once a quarter. It's okay.
and I don't mind helping out too, because I really don't mind, so.
I was gonna volunteer Andy as the vice chair to do it, but you guys all jumped on poor Matt. Matt, I tried to, I was thinking about deflecting to Andy, but
It's something I don't want to say I want to learn, but I probably should learn. So I'm happy to distribute some of that responsibility.
All right, well, maybe we can trade off every other, something. I
You're
don't
a
know.
good man, Andy.
We'll figure it out.
Maybe
Right.
we appoint someone in school committee and they'll take it.
But there you go. I like that. We can reorganize as soon as we get someone new.
Yes.
Be
Well,
ready, Amy.
that's
What?
it for tonight.
I
It was
said,
gonna
be
a quick
ready.
meeting.
Might be you.
Really?
So Amy, you know you want to be on this committee. You might as well just be on it.
it's a
I
fun
wanted to
committee.
Make sure, I wanted to make sure everybody had the opportunity. Because I hoard committees, unfortunately, so.
Well, think of all the
Oh.
fun you'll have with Matt, me and Jennifer and Andy and Colleen. I mean, how can you
Yeah.
really pass this
I
group
mean,
up?
Amy, you could say that about almost everybody on this call, so.
That's probably true.
That's a good point, Matt.
Well, and I don't
You're in good
necessarily. think that
company.
Depending on who the new appointee is, throwing a brand new school committee member, assuming they have no experience into a committee like this, is probably not a good idea.
I'd agree with that.
They need to get up to speed on what's going on, and this isn't a great way to do it.
And they
So-
have to have been through at least one budget cycle.
So I barely meet those criteria.
But you
Andy,
meet
we're
them.
totally confident in you.
Thank you,
Well,
man.
we'll
keep
see.
that up.
We'll see if
Hey.
Laura or Liz wants it, and if they don't, then it's gonna be me.
Laura's a hard no.
A hard
Lo-
no. Well, she's
Laura
doing
and I,
ARPA.
Laura and I will
fairness.
never be on the same committee or board. I can guarantee you that.
That's super smart.
That's-
Greg and I are both on CIPC together, and that's interesting.
Mhm.
And we're both election workers together.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yes.
Merry
All
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
right, so we're adjourned. we have to do roll call, Mark?
You could just goodbye. You're the
Goodbye.
chair. You can just
Bye.
adjourn the meeting.
You can
All
do
right.
this.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.